Folks, let's go to Alabama, where a mayor there has fired 3 officers and suspended another involved in the shooting death of a black man. Decatur Mayor Tab Bowling did not release the names of the officers, but said they will have the option to appeal his decision of termination. If the officers decide to appeal, their names, charges, and other details will become public as part of a potential personnel board appeals hearing. Stephen Perkins was shot and killed outside of his home in the early hours of September 29th by Decatur Police Department officers after an altercation with a tow truck driver. This is an absolutely strange story, Amakongo, because in essence, these police officers were in cahoots with this tow truck driver, where they basically set a trap for this brother. They shot and killed him. Then we later found out that his car, and an error was made, and his car was not supposed to be repossessed, so he was defending his turf. And so if you look at the video, and we played it, these officers are literally hiding behind vehicles at 2 o'clock in the morning, setting a trap to ambush and shoot and kill this brother.
Setup, man. It's more like an execution than anything else. And when you look at the story, we think about the family and what he left behind. And first of all, we also have to be mindful of the fact that the officers lied in terms of what they initially said. They talked about the fact that when they approached him, they told him, to drop the weapon and the like. And then later on, it turns out they said that they apparently told him just to get on the ground. And so people are getting fired and suspended. But what about criminal charges? What about, lying on these police reports and the like? This brother, 39 years old, is lost his life because of some type of ambush. My hope is that by amplifying this here, because no one else is talking about it anywhere else, the Justice Department needs to look into this, because this to me speaks to a level of corruption that's at a much deeper level in that entire department. And I think those names should be released, including the one who got suspended as well, because this cannot be the end of it. In our community, we can't just be enough to say that people got fired or people got suspended. We need prosecutions. We need criminal charges. They set this brother up. They lied about the reports. And now we have another family without a father who also, by the way, feared that he was going to be killed by the police one day. That's what he feared, that so many of us feared, and it came to fruition under the most heinous of circumstances. A deeper investigation needs to be done on this.
Ron, this story is beyond shameful. For the police to be in cahoots with a tow truck driver who was trying to repossess a vehicle. The driver claims he went there, the guy shot at him. He leaves, called the cops, brings the cops back, and they basically, the video shows, they are hiding behind vehicles across the street, waiting for the brother to come out of his home, and then they shoot and kill him. The video right here, Ron, this officer is, you see the tow truck driver come up. This officer is like they're waiting for something to happen. That's how crazy this story is.
It's crazy, but unfortunately, because we live in this society, this is something that's not uncommon. Unfortunately, all too often, capital and business and law enforcement work hand in hand to serve each other and not serve the people. And also, this happened in the Deep South. Now, that's not to say anything about the Deep South, but there's a long history in the Deep South of black men suspiciously dying at the hands of police and nothing happening. We happen to live in a time now where we have all this technology and we have social media where you see the things that are playing out, but also just the fact that they were let go, and just the fact that they were the city council and the mayor was able to get in front of this somewhat only because of this video getting out, and saying that these officers are going to be somewhat, quote unquote, disciplined, is a way to kind of cover themselves and say, see, we're doing something. But if you let something like that go out and then you let it go away, it becomes a one-day story or a two-day story, and then it goes out of the public mind. The activists in that city need to be more, I don't want to say they'd be more proactive, but they need to push this story on a national level so it doesn't get buried like things that happened to our brothers in the 40s and 50s and 60s. This is on a continuum. What? These things have always happened. These things have always taken place. But now we have the ability to be able to put these things in front of the wider world, but it's got to be consistent.
It's 7 o'clock.
If this were a simple impoundment, you're taking a car because whatever, there's a whole other way to do this. And if the brother came out there was some words, they could come back. They could come back in the daytime. They did not have to ambush him. This is, white people can do whatever they want to, or police, whatever they want to black people with absolutely no consequences. And as Oma Congo says, here's another family now who's losing a father, another group of young people, children who are traumatized. I salute you, of course, we always do, for bringing these stories to light that don't see light too often. But it's not just on Roland Martin. As the other brother said, who lives in that town? What are you doing about it? Who elected these clowns on the city council? The mayor's doing the right thing, kind of. Why don't we know their names? It ain't secret. We know the name of the brother who was killed. We need to know the names of the people who killed him. This is just, again, apoplectically annoying at best. It's too much. And it happens, it's like the chink, chink, chink of the water coming out every single day or every single week. Roland, somebody has to take responsibility. You're right, DOJ has to be investigating this. But even more than this, all those police officers need to be tried for murder. That's what it was. They murdered this man, and with the tow truck driver, murder and conspiracy to commit murder. That's what this is.